So welcome everyone who is with me here live. It really feels good to have people joining me live as well. And warm welcome to everyone who's watching the recording. And I'll give you a little bit of a backstory about this seminar. So there's two topics that are really dear to my heart. And one is the landscapes or environments of Earth that can be seen as powerful archetypes of our human psyche. And I know that you, Evelina, joined me in some explorations of those archetypes, and they made huge difference in my life because this is the type of spirituality that is very grounded in earth, in physicality. And another topic that is very dear to me is magic, is the mystery, the miracles, what is invisible and yet uniquely close to our soul and heart. So this is something I've been fascinated about since I was little girl. Then, having academic path and my work as a psychologist, I felt I needed to in a way put it aside, sometimes maybe hide it from myself, for sure from others. But I'm giving myself lately more and more space to also openly dive into magic, and magic in a sense of mystery and the unknown and miracles. And also, what I see as magic is the uniqueness that all of us has. Um, the unique talent, quality, gift that makes us us. And usually it is not so available to us in daily life. Usually we need to do some digging to fully reclaim it. Yet it is present from our childhood, actually, in what we love to do, in the quality that radiates from us. So I had this idea to bring those together, how the exploration of landscapes as archetypes and magic can go together. So I scheduled this webinar, but then I had this strange, you could call it resistance. Like I couldn't really sit down and reflect, make some notes about what and how I wanted to teach. And yesterday and this morning, I thought I need to postpone it until the inspiration comes back to me. And then I did a ritual that I love to do. It's a greeting of four directions of east, south, west, and north. And when I did this ritual, it occurred to me I actually would love to talk about landscapes and magic, but I don't want to teach. I just don't feel inspired in this moment of my life to be in the role of a teacher. But I'm happy to improvise some stories and inner journeys. And I'm telling you, it really feels scary to me because I'm quite comfortable in the role of a teacher. I've been leading groups, mostly in person, nowadays also online, for more than a decade. And I feel safe in this role. But just to show up and improvise, talk stories, say things that might not be so logical, it feels edgy to me. But I chose to do it anyways. So today I would like us to actually do the ritual of greeting the directions together. And I will tune into some landscapes that for me are connected to those directions. And I say little, maybe prayer or spell, something like this to help us connect with the energies. And I knew in the morning when I did this ritual that there was north and the landscape of a forest, like magical, mysterious forest of the north that was really calling me. So we'll go through east, south, west, and north, and we'll spend longer time in the north, in the forest. And I'll be guiding us to connect to the magic within us that can be found there. And if you need a little bit more background about what I mean by landscapes as archetypes or magic, feel free to type a question in a chat or unmute yourself and ask me a question before we go ahead with our ritual. Okay. Okay. So I'm inviting us to enter into a magical space where we are all connected and where the larger whole, universe, life, earth, is reflected in us. Every aspect of the divinity and every aspect of this beautiful planet is also alive in our psyche and in our soul. So when we will be exploring and greeting the directions and the landscapes, we are also awakening and greeting aspects of ourselves. It might look like those landscapes are external to us, and in some sense they are. We can go to the river, to the mountains, or to the forest. And yet there is something deep in our soul that is resonating and recognizing the energy of those landscapes. And this is what we will be actually awakening and activating. So I'm inviting you to take a comfortable position and take 3 conscious breaths, just landing fully in the here and now, in this moment. And if you can, have a look even briefly towards the east. And I'm greeting and welcoming the direction of east, the new beginnings, the rising sun. And I'm inviting you to feel the freshness of early morning, of a sunrise. And you can imagine a beautiful orange sun rising above a river. And you can feel the new day in your system, new beginning, freshness. And imagine that you are walking up the river until you find the source of this river, until you find the mountain creek and then the source where the water comes out of the rock. And it is so fresh that when you drink it, and imagine actually putting your hands in the water and drinking it. It just fills your entire system, your body, mind, heart, and soul with freshness. It is cleansing, purifying. It is filling you with innocence of a child, curiosity, and faith. It's totally pure and fresh. So I would like to offer to all of us, people live with me and those of you watching the replay, a blessing, or you could call it a spell. May the fresh water of the east, fresh water of the source, be with you always and allow you the new beginnings that are ready to emerge in your life. May you have faith and innocence of a child, and vitality and freshness of the mountain creek water. May you be always connected to the source where it all begins. And you can take 3 breaths, really anchoring the energy of east, of source, of new beginnings in you. And now, if you can, look even briefly in the direction of the south. I am actually facing the south. And think of a sun high on the sky, beautiful, shining, radiating effortlessly, abundantly. And think of a desert with its mystery, its wind and heat and sand, and these very strong creatures, plants and animals that are so tuned into their senses that they can survive in this environment. They know how and where to find water. They know what is essential. They embrace simplicity and depth. And in the desert, there is so-called cryptolife. When you look, you might see nothing, but when you pay attention, actually, there is a lot of life in the desert. And now I'm inviting us to connect to a different aspect of a south. Imagine a beautiful meadow with green grass, with all sorts of wild flowers of different colors, and life buzzing and pulsating with vitality. Imagine colorful butterflies. Hear the buzzing of the bees, honeybees, and just feel into the sweet, sweet smell and sound and feeling of a beautiful meadow on a summer day. So much life. And I would like us to receive a blessing or a spell, whichever word you prefer. May we be open. May we allow the abundance of life to flow into us. May we discover how much we can open, how much we can effortlessly receive, how much beauty and bounty is available to us. May we know it in our lives. And I'm inviting you to take 3 deep, delicious breaths, smelling and connecting to the sweetness of a meadow, of the nourishing, beautiful, vital energy of the south, and a meadow. Beautiful. And now I'm inviting you to glimpse in the direction of the west. And notice your feeling. What sensation is associated in you with west? I'm inviting you to imagine a sunset and a beautiful sacred mountain and the sun setting over it. And you know that this mountain is sacred. And when you are climbing and you're on top of the mountain, you can see things and patterns, and you have a perspective that allows you to see what you couldn't see from down there. Now you know, now you understand. And you have so much compassion to the self that didn't know, that perhaps felt lost. So much love and compassion that is coming from your wisdom. When you are on the top, high, high, close to the sky, and in the mountain there is a cave where a wise man and a wise woman live. And they are always ready to welcome us and offer comfort to our tired, sometimes lost bodies and souls. And they are always willing to offer guidance and words of wisdom to us. So imagine that you are now finding their cave and trustingly entering sitting with them, basking in their love and wisdom. And if you need to rest, allow yourself to rest on the lap of the wise woman. She knows that it can be hard, but she knows that you can let go of what no longer is serving you. And the wise man, he knows that you have incredible strength that allowed you to climb to the top of the mountain. And he's ready to show it to you and encourage you. So be for a moment in their presence. And I want to offer to all of us a blessing or a spell. May we always be connected to the wisdom and perspective of the high sacred mountain. And may we always be available to receive the support of the wise woman and the wise man and the wisdom of the setting sun that knows when is the time to let go, trusting that it will rise again when the time comes. So I'm inviting you to take 3 deep breaths, anchoring the wisdom of the West and the sacred mountain in you. Very good. And now, even for a moment, glimpse towards the north, our final direction that we are exploring today. And I am greeting the spirit of the north, the energy of the north. And I am greeting the night, where the sun is no longer visible, but we can glimpse into the universe. We can see the stars and the moon and the planets. We can see the vast, vast sky. We can feel small and yet part of the large, infinite universe. And I am inviting you into the forest. And this forest is a place where many of us are afraid to enter. But this sacred forest of the north lives in all of us, in every soul of a single person, every single person. And it is deep and mysterious and filled with wondrous creatures, plants, trees of ancient lives, mushrooms, birds, animals, deers, wolves, squirrels and rabbits, boars, snakes, birds, hedgehogs, and other animals. And it is filled with magical beings. And you will meet 3 of them today. So imagine that you are entering the forest. And you know, when you are in the forest, you cannot see very far. On top of the mountain, you could see your head perspective. But here in the forest, you need to trust, to be in the now. You cannot see the future or the past. You cannot see what is ahead of you. But you have a chance to be fully rooted in the here and now, in the mystery. And you can learn to be comfortable with the unknown, with what is here and now. And when you stop frantically running around the forest, wanting it to be over, wanting to go to the other side, you will then discover its magic and beauty. You will find berries and mushrooms and nuts and other plants that will nourish you, keep you strong and healthy and alive. You will find fresh air, sun and shadow and water and everything you need. So just take 3 deep breaths, rooting yourself in the now, even and especially if the now feels some sort of unknown. And I'm inviting you now into a further journey into the forest. And you will meet 3 beings that will help you discover 3 aspects of your soul. So imagine that you are going deeper into the forest with your eyes closed or open, whatever feels more comfortable. And you are going deeper and deeper. The trees and the plants are becoming thicker and thicker. And there is a stone, a big, ancient, heavy rock. And you can sit on it and rest and wait for a magical being. And the magical being may be actually an animal, a plant, an element of fire, water, earth, or air. Or it can be a magical creature, a spirit, maybe an elf or a fairy, a wizard or a witch, or any other guide, angel that will show you what it is in your life, that it is time to let go and live in the forest, because the forest needs it and the forest knows what to do with it, how to turn it into compost that will become nourishment for new life. So let's be quiet for a moment and allow this magical creature, this beautiful, wise, loving guide of yours, to show you, maybe in pictures, images, maybe in words or feelings, or just in deep knowing what it is that it is time to let go of, to live in the forest. And let's take a few more seconds if there is anything else that they want to show you. And you can say thank you for showing you. And remember, it is always up to you if you will let go or not. You are not obliged to do anything that is not in alignment with you. The decision, the choice is always yours. When I closed my eyes, I actually got my answer very quickly and it came in words. Sometimes it comes in images or feelings, but this time it came in words and it was that is time for me to let go of worry and of wanting to do things the right way. And I could really feel the resonance of it, how true it is for me. Okay, so we are moving on, just going even deeper into the forest. Changing the scenery, maybe the trees or the plants or the sounds of the forest are becoming a bit different now. And we are going to find an old fallen tree, so big and so ancient that when it died, it just became nourishment for so much other life. There is moss growing out of it, mushrooms, And also this trunk became a shelter for different animals and beings. And you are invited to sit by the old fallen tree and wait for your second guide, who will show you what in you lies in the shadow, what in you that you've been hiding from, that you've been trying to run away from, needs your love, needs your attention, needs you to embrace it and welcome it as part of you. So the guide that you are going to meet, again, it can be a nature being like a plant, a tree, animal, or more magical being like elf, spirit, angel, witch, or any other being. So welcome them now. Get ready to meet them now and allow them to show you, either in pictures, feelings, words, or just deep knowing in your heart, what it is that lies in the shadow that you didn't want to claim as yours, you didn't want to welcome as part of you, that perhaps you felt ashamed of, or afraid of, or angry at, but it needs to be seen and welcomed. So I be quiet now again for half a minute or so, and just allow your guide to do its job and show you. Don't try to figure it out, just be open to any sensations, even if they are not making too much sense to you. Just open up, give them your attention. And imagine that you are, if you choose so, say to this part of you that you accept it, or if you can find it in yourself, that you love it, that you have compassion and love to it. So let's take a couple of breaths, sending this part of us love, welcoming it. Because in all the rejected parts, in all the parts that seem ugly or bad, evil, there is a treasure. And what can alchemize them and transform them into gold is our love, our willingness to see them. And I share with you that what I saw, now it came definitely as an image and sound also. So I saw was like this little kid that is screaming and saying, no, 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 and stamping her feet. And it's this like toddler perhaps, and her no, and loud screaming, kind of tantrum and rebelliousness. So I definitely decided to send her lots of love and welcome her in my heart. Okay, and now we are going to meet our final guide in this magical, mysterious forest. So I'm inviting you to go even deeper into the forest. Actually, I'm inviting you to go all the way down to the very heart, very center of the magical forest of the north. And it's a beautiful place, the heart of it. It's absolutely gorgeous and stunning and very special. And there is a clearing there where light can come easily from the stars and from the moon and from the sun. And there is also water, maybe a small pond or a creek flowing. And there is very fresh air and smell of the forest, smell of the leaves and the soil. And there's beautiful sound of life. And there in the very heart of the forest, you're going to meet the guide that is going to show you your deepest gift that you haven't fully expressed and experienced yet. The gift that lies so deep in your soul, that is your essence, and it's been always with you. And it is time to embrace it and claim it more fully in your life. So you know that it is you, that it is the gift that you came here with to experience it fully in your life. And you have every right to cherish it, to enjoy it. And the world also needs it. So you have every right to express this in the world. So find a beautiful, comfortable spot somewhere here in the very heart of the forest, feeling surrounded by all trees, directions, elements, magical beings, and spirits of the forest, and wait for your guide. And whenever you are ready to meet the guide, allow her or him to show you, either by feeling, sensation, words, images, just knowing your deepest gift. I'll be silent for a moment so all of us can enjoy this special moment with our guides. And trust whatever is coming to you. Trust that your heart and your soul knows and is able to receive this information in a way that might not be understandable to your logical mind, but it is totally understandable to your heart and your soul. And a few more moments and take 3 deep breaths, connecting to our deepest gift, magical, beautiful gift found at the heart of the forest, gift that lies in the very center of our being. Very good. And I will share with you, even though it feels quite vulnerable and quite touching to me. What I saw came again as image first and then words. So what I saw, the guy was a fairy, kind of very light field, magical, light fairy, and she was having like some sort of a wand, I guess, and just sparkling light all over everyone. Both of you, people who are watching, and like people around me, sparkling light. And the words that came were, "You are one of us." That I'm one of the fairies, which yeah sounds funny, but for me it was the energy of lightness. Light in the sense of not heavy, but light, and also light as brightness. And also the words were, and words and magic will always flow. Yeah, so I'll be definitely contemplating this and sitting with it and feeling into it. And I would like to offer to all of us a blessing or a spell from the gorgeous forest of the north in the direction of north. May we always have the courage to embrace the mystery and to be present in the unknown. Grow our roots deeply and be nourished by the magical forest and its wisdom. May we always be open to connect to our guides. May we always know what we need to let go of and what we need to reclaim. May our shadow be transformed into the gold, and may our deepest gift always be cherished, always be nourished, and may it nourish our lives and the world. So let's take a few moments just to absorb our ritual. Oh, and there is one more thing that I want to express from the energy of the north, that there is this tendency in our lives to want to know and control and not to be in the mystery, in the unknown, but only actually when we embrace the here and now and the mystery and the not knowing. The magical forest will give us the medicine or the elixir that we need, and then it will send us off to the new beginning, to the open space and fresh start. That's something that I strongly received today from the north. So let's absorb now all the gifts we received from the east, from the mountain spring and rising sun, from the south, the desert and the life pulsating meadow and radiant sun, and from the west and the sacred mountain that allows us to see from a higher perspective and be connected to the guidance and love of the wise woman and the wise man, and the gifts of the north forest and its mysteries and nourishment. May we embrace these gifts and the landscapes and magic that lives inside of us. May we open to experience more of the mystery and magic that we are. Oh yes, thank you so much, Nidhi. And yes, we are ending now. It was lovely to have you here, Nidhi, and thank you for your presence.
Thank you, Carolina. It
Bye.
was lovely. Thank you.
I'm glad you liked it. And Evelina, if there is anything you also want to write or say, feel free to do it before we close. And you don't need to. Okay. Okay, thank you, ladies, and everyone else who was watching the replay. It was, yeah, it was something new for me just to show up and not teach, but just speak from my heart and do something I love doing. Yes, thank you for being in this journey with me, and lots of blessings to you, magical, beautiful beings. Bye.